Hello and welcome. This is a reading for our sun sign in Libra. You may also be feeling it if your moon or your rising is in Libra. So I love my foggy background today because we have some very interesting retrograde planets today, which include Neptune, or rather for the month of August. So Pluto has already been retrograde, but Mercury and Neptune are joining that party. So first we have Neptune retrograde on August the 2nd, and Neptune, of course, rules things like that fogginess, dream space, the unconscious. So to use that positively, and especially with Mercury retrograde, anytime you're in a retrograde time period, it is a good time to be a bit reflective. And with Neptune retrograde, I would spend some time utilizing your dream space. I love to listen to like prosperity tapes to fall asleep. There's so many great ones on YouTube, but also just visualizing as you are drifting off to sleep. And maybe if any of you wake up in the middle of the night, do some positive visualization of what you want to create. And in the morning, also do that visualization as you're sort of just coming into body. It's a very powerful time with that Neptune retrograde, so pay attention to that dream space, okay? Because it can work for you. Remember, we are all conscious creators, and that which if we can tap into what we are unconsciously thinking and dreaming, and focus it positively, we can actually create very sudden amounts of growth that we couldn't necessarily do with just doing it. There's all those studies where they have one set of basketball players shooting the hoop physically and the other set just visualizing it. And sometimes the ones that just visualize, if they already know what they're doing, that is, if the muscles are already there, it can actually make more progress. So it's very, very great time to consciously create, okay? So keep that in mind. Now, Mercury will be retrograde the 5th through the 28th. So please be cautious and careful. If there's a contract you need to sign, either try to do it before August the 5th or after the August the 28th. If you can't help it and you need to do it during that retrograde period, just by all means triple check everything, because it can be a time for misunderstanding, possibly even misrepresentation. All right, just be cautious. Very positive time is going to be the middle of the month. You've got Mars can join Jupiter in Gemini. So you can be launching some form of prosperity. For you, it's in your 9th house, which rules education, higher education, and it also rules foreign or long distance travel. I always feel like the internet sort of encompasses both, because we learn a lot online, and we also can travel the world without having to travel it. So that's an interesting time for your prosperity. That is square to Saturn, which is your 6th house. So don't push too hard is the reading on that. But what's interesting, triply interesting for you Libras, is that the Mars can Jupiter that's in the sky is trine to your sun. Because or your ascendant, if your sun is in Libra or your ascendant is Libra. So it really could be a very positive time to launch something that really expresses who you are as a person. So just be aware of that. Great expansion and prosperity there, but don't push too hard. We also have the new moon August the 4th, which is in Leo, which is in your 11th house. 11th house is community or helping others who maybe aren't as fortunate as yourself. So that might be a good time to reach out there. August 19th, we have the full moon, which for you is in your 5th house, which is where Pluto is. Remember, right now Pluto's retrograde, so you might be buttoning up something from the last 15 years or finishing something up, but ultimately Pluto is in Aquarius for you, for everyone, for the next 15 or so years. With the full moon in Aquarius, it could come to some type of culmination of the seeds that you've been planting and thinking about a path that you might want to be taking over the next big chapter of your life, the next 15 years or so. So the full moon might be a really great time to kind of light a candle and center into what you want to be experiencing, because this is happening in your 5th house, which is the house of children, playfulness, your inner child, and you really don't want to turn off your inner child just because I have to work or whatever. You want to embrace it and see, they got those great commercials on TV. Hey, I'm your inner child. So, yes, this is a good time. That full moon time, I would spend some time listening to that inner child as to what is really important to you to be experiencing, especially over the next 15 years. What is your creative self? Fifth house is very creative, and honoring that, acknowledging it, and spending time in that creativity, because that's going to bring you greater happiness over the next 15 years or so. Okay, that's all for now with Love and Light, Astro Angel. Until next month.